Hey kids, Mark Miller here. Glad to be with you. It looks like we're just noticing a little bit of issues with the upload, and it seems like it's back in the green. Could be okay again. How's everybody doing? Glad to have you with us on this Tuesday. Let's get right back into the code as we kind of are. We tend to do every time we show up here. Let's go bring up the map spike editor. We'll start this up. We will pick up where we left off on Friday. We're now doing 4 shows a week: Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Same time every day. All right. We're doing some pretty cool stuff with the map editor, really bringing it up to kind of a very professional level. One of the things we added is the ability for us to specify properties on a particular type and on a stamp that we're dropping down. And the purpose of this is so that the Dungeon Master can lay something down and then say, you know what, I want this to have certain properties. Like I want to be able to hide this while we're playing the game. And if I click here, then the Dungeon Master will have an option to turn this thing on or off, make it visible or invisible while the game is being played. Collectible might be another option, or movable might be an option where I can push it or slide it across the floor. Coupled with other pieces that other properties we're going to add to these individual items. Let's go take a look at those properties. That's over in a class called Base Stamp Properties. That's where we're declaring these, and we're just decorating them with the editable property attribute. And if we see those, then we're going to build a custom property editor for it. And that's kind of what we've got here. So what that means is right now you see only 2 checkboxes for collectible and hideable. But if we stop it and we restart it, and we come in and add one more property here. This is the cool thing about what we're doing here. Let's select that, duplicate this, and change it to movable, like that. And we'll come back up and run it again. Although we do notice I do have a strength to move property here, so that will also, I don't think we need the movable really, but just to demonstrate. Drop it down, item in there, bring up the property editor, and now we've got a movable checkbox. And all of these play perfectly with undo and redo. So I can hit Control-Z, 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 and then Control-Shift-Z repeatedly to reverse my steps forward or backwards. So I can come in, make some changes here, whatever I want to do here, and then undo those changes and go through the whole sequence all the way to the point where I delete the item because it wasn't there. I can redo, 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 like that. Keep moving forward, 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 and then undo, 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 and then redo, 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 redo. It's beautiful. And there's not a lot of code to make all of this happen. We just had to, in order to do this, we just had to play into our command design pattern that we implemented 2 weeks ago when we were looking at design patterns, and in general it's really beautiful, right? Just all we do is we just create a new property, declare it here, and that property can be changed at essentially map design time, set and saved in that element that we're playing with, and we get full undo and redo. And also storage. We're saving it, serializing it out. So so pretty cool. All right. So next, so we have support right now for enums automatically. Notice the cover enum and the stamp altitude enum. Both of these are enums right here. And those enums, all we get are when we build them, we just here's cover. So I've got my options here: none, 1/2, 3/4 total. Do I want to enhance this? I think I do. I think I want to create a new attribute because, here, let me show you. We'll run it again, and I'll show you what I'm, I kind of want to tweak a bit. So cover has got these names here, but they're not like display text names, right? 1/2, 3/4 in total. So when I come in here, drop this in, and I bring up the property editor, I'm looking at the words 1/2, 3/4 total. And I think I might want to see the actual fractions here for 1/2, or maybe something a little more user-friendly. And like these are all good, but the 1/2 and 3/4 are a little tricky. So I think what I want to do is I want to create an attribute on this to solve this problem. And then I will look for the attribute using reflection. So let's try that. Let's create a new class that is a, let's call it a display text attribute, like that. Let's have it descend from attribute. Let's give it an initialized string called the display text. Let's use CodeRush to declare a property with initializer on there, like that. Let's move it to its own file. And now, just with that simple change, now I can come in here and I can say, let's give it the display text here to it. Let's give it the, whoops, I want to do that. And I want to pass in, let's get the fraction. Let's go find that. So I'm going to bring up char map right now, character map. You go find that 1/2 fraction. There it is right there. So copy that, come over here and paste it. I might change it, but we'll use that for now. So there's my 1/2, and let's go down in here and do my 3/4. Like that. So now I've got my display text for those two pieces. Let's just run it. Let's go find my enum. Let's see, we're going to build this in the enum. Let's go find the class. It's called the enum property editor, I think. Enum editor. Enum editor. Let's go look at that. And we've got add option. And here's where we're calling get name. This is where we're gonna need to figure out how to do this. I'm gonna set a breakpoint here. And let's bring this over. Drop this down. Okay. So we're getting the values here. This value is 9. I'm going to skip through the next one. The next value is 1/2. And the property type, I think I want to go in the property type. I'm going to have to use the internet for this. I think I was kind of hopeful I was going to be able to figure my way through this, but I think it's going to take a little longer than I want. So let's say C# reflection, get attributes on enum elements. Okay. enum values. That's what I want, I think. Yeah, this is looking very similar to what we've got. Okay, they're looking for tuples. Interesting. So we're getting a member by name. All right, let's take this code and let's play with this. Okay, get attributed type. Yeah, what's interesting is we're doing this piece right here is very similar. Oh, look out! Yeah, we missed you, Jetsam. How you doing, Jetsam? We can now relax. It says Mr. Announcer Guy. Oh, really? You had a cruise vacation. No quarantining, I hope. You were not quarantined. All right. Yeah, I think we're doing a get member from the type. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Let's see what we've got here. We're just going to put that in there. I do not have a get member on this guy. I do have a get type on it. And I've got to give him, oh, there's a get member right there. And then we've got to give it a name. Okay, so, and the name I want to use is, I think, this to string. That's what I think I want. And given that, let's see what happens with that. Everything was healthy. Good. Yeah, you know, I went on a Disney cruise with my kids about 8 years ago. And one of the things that I thought was really remarkable at the time was as they were taking you into, like, for example, go eat in the mess hall or whatever they call it, they would hand out these cloths to so you could wipe your hands, right, and be clean before you went in. In fact, they would do that in irregular places. They would have these kind of like Purell wipes. Oh no, come on! It's on your coat. Am I serious? Conversation? No! No! Woody, Judson! By the way, kids, I started Coding Gorillas fanfare. It is not complete, but it's been started, and so that's good. Things are going pretty well. I got lots of sleep. Yeah, hand sanitizer. Yeah, every dining room entry there was a crew member squirting hand sanitizer. Yeah, I think that's the way they got to do it, right? I was surprised at first, but then I started thinking about it. I was like, yeah, that is, you can't really think of your way around that. They pretty much have to do that. You've got everybody in a small area, contained area. The same thing I think needs to happen if you're traveling into space, I think. Although, if you're traveling in space and everybody on it is not sick, are you going to get a virus out of nowhere in space? You may not. Maybe not. All right, so we've got a member info piece right here. We've got this property type here. I'm using it in a couple places. I'm going to maybe do an introduce local on that. And we'll just call it like prop type maybe. Like that. I actually wanted to pull it. I wanted to get it all up here too, but it didn't grab that one. I was hoping that would. Okay. Okay, so, oh yeah, look, it's edit and continue land, so we need to kind of not do that. Undo that last change, because you can't really modify a for each loop while we're in it. But, so I just hit undo, undo, undo. Now it should be okay now. Are you gonna be happy? Now, watch this trick. I'm gonna come up, oh, I can't quite do it yet. I have to comment out any code that won't compile. But now I'm gonna come up here and I'm gonna say, hey, set next statement to this, get us out of the loop. Then I'm gonna hit, can I do redo, redo? Oh, I can't do redo, redo anymore because, right, we'll just make those same steps again. Because I had to make one more change to get it to compile. All right, no worries. Just come up here, now make the change, and now everybody's gonna be happy. Okay, all right, so we've got a prop type there, prop type here. Now we're gonna go member info. And wait, we're kind of, this is here. So we've done that already. And then the attributes are here. Like that. Type of what's this parameter here? An attribute type. So I can look for the display text attribute, I believe, here. I think I can do that and find it. Let's make that explicit. All right, let's see what we got. See if that's going to do it for us. I should put some error, some checking in here to see if we've got actually a count on this thing. Length is greater than 0. Then we're here. And that. Okay. So yeah, Jetson was putting, I don't know if you saw this, but Jetson was out on a relaxing cruise vacation last week with hand sanitizer. Very important, I think, to bring in small places with lots of people. Okay, so we're here, and I think arguably I could come up and do this. I could say, let's set it here first. And then I want to come down here and see if the count is then I want to come down here and I want to say name is equal to attributes of 0. I think it's really going to look like this. If that is a display text attribute, like that. Then we're going to say name is equal to display text dot display text. Okay, let's step through that and see if we get into this space. So no, nothing there the first time here, which I think I'm expecting it. Wait, is that right? Member info. Oh wait, now actually I'm expecting a member info to have something in it. Maybe I'm doing it wrong. 1/2. Nope, we're not getting in here. So let's look at these pieces here and see what we're getting on this. Oh yeah, the type is runtime type. It's not the one we want. how do we get from the runtime type? We had this problem last time and I forget how we get there. Yeah, it's not prop type. It's not prop type.get type. Could it just be prop type.get member? Is that going to work? That's not going to work, is it? Maybe it will. Let's come back up here. See what we get this time. Now we got something. Oh, we got it. We got an attribute. Look at that. All right, cool. I think that's it, kids. Let's run it. See what it looks like. All right, that works for me. Nice. What's my cover? 1/2, 3/4 total. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Sweet. Okay, next. We got numbers that we want to work with. And we've got strings that we have to work with. We have to build custom editors for both to make sure they also similarly play well with undo and redo. I think I'm going to do strings first, is what I think I'm going to do, because I think that's a little easier than numbers. Are there, by the way, I'm not familiar with this, are there any WPF numeric edit controls built into the framework? Like a numeric up-down control. Now, they do this. Yeah, isn't there an existing one? Numeric up-down. Okay, nothing already. Oh, extended WPF toolkit. Okay. All right. Not sure what we're going to do on that, if we're going to build our own or not. We might also just use the text editor. We might just do that as well, that we're about to build. All right, we're going to do strings first. So let's do that. Fewer constraints on it. And I think we're going to close this down, create a, so I've got my get enum editor right here. I'm going to build something similar to this called a get
227, where are you? We need your help.
Get that guy! That guy's back on my show. I don't want to be. He's always messing my show up. Look what he's doing! Get him! Oh, I am Yoda! What I'm talking about. Dun 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 dun. D&D 7, how are you doing? Everybody's here, ready for a new week. Fred's doing well. All right, there's our get text editor right there. Let's go see where this thing is called. Get enum editor is called from. Here we go. So the string, we're going to call get text editor. Okay. And let's look at that property value data. Did I look at one of the things I wanted to see? Am I looking at consistent values or not? I actually, before I build the get text editor, let's do a return null from here for now. I wanted to see what I'm doing, if I'm correctly showing the values, if there are conflicting values. I know I tested this with checkboxes, but I don't know if I tested this with the radio buttons yet. So let's take a look at this. P-Seal is concerned we blew up the moon. That felt a little excessive. Yeah, no, we did not blow up the moon. Right, Fred? Moon's still good? I'd say yes, moon is good. All right, so let's double check this and see if we're doing this right. We want to select have two different items, and we want to have different values for the two different items. Let's do this, make this a little bit smaller here. And let's go in and we're going to say this is going to be low, and this one is going to be high, and then I'll select both at the same time. Yeah, we're not showing it correctly. That's now. CM Chris Jones is here as well. Codebase Alpha, of course, coming in with the amazing intro there. How you doing, Codebase Alpha? Good to have you with us. Kids, folks who are just joining us, just so you know, Coding Gorilla, kind of a regular out in the chat room as well. I've been promising Coding Gorilla a fanfare intro. I have officially begun work on that, starting work on that. My kids are inspiring me. They're insisting I use the dancing gorilla. Incorporate that in, and that might happen. But we're working on that, so that's actually officially started. Right now we're working on a property editor that can edit multiple properties at once, and the problem I have here is I think whatever the last one, so this is high, this one's low. If I start on low, shift click to add here, it still shows the first one's value. It should show none here because there's a conflict. That's what I need. I need to indicate that they're not all low. So that's the problem I'm working on right now. And I think let's set a breakpoint here. And wait, I think we're gonna get a hit here. I'm gonna run past it. And oh, is it every time it's gonna come up, is it gonna give it to me again or not? Okay, no. Now I'm gonna shift click here. And now this is the interesting one. Property value data, we built this before, has inconsistent values. This should be true. That should totally be true. And it's false. Are we even checking that though? I think we're not even checking it. This is where we're checking to see if it should be true or not. So I think there's two fixes involved. I think one of them is saying, do we have, let's do this. Let's create a Boolean, and it's going to be option checked. Like that. And I'm going to come in here and I'm going to say, that's equal to this, pop that there, and then I'm going to say, hey, just because for readability, if we have inconsistent values, then we're going to set that to false, like that. And that's what the code is going to look like there. So that's fix one, but we already looked at this. That is not true, and it should be at this point. Wait. This is cover. This actually may be okay. Hold on, let's get till we get the second one here. This one is altitude. And it is good. Has inconsistent values is true right here. That's exactly what we want. All right, so that may be our fix. Let's run it. Okay, looks like we got a little mouse move there. But now, yeah, cool. Now we can see that our cover is none, but our altitude is not set because they're inconsistent. So if I come up here, altitude's low, click over here, altitude's still high, shift click both, and it's like that. If I click on mid, Now I've changed it in both of them. That's mid and that's mid. I can hit undo, and now that's low and that's high right there, just like we want. If I change this to 3/4 and then shift click on that, now nothing is, wait, where do we have these both? Did I change the altitude? That's high and that's low. Okay, so we're good. Shift click both of them, we're like this. Change it to, what's this one at? That's a 3/4. Now change this to 3/4, shift click both, and now it shows it at 3/4. Perfect. Okay. Now let's look at the string text editor. I have my own class that I'm creating this thing for here, it seems. Yeah, let's do that. And what am I doing about my property change? Hey, Brian. How you doing, buddy? Brian Lagunas in the chat room, kids. Brian, how you doing? Yeah, I'm working on a Dungeons and Dragons map editor. The version I'm working on is like I've got the super tiny map on here just for testing purposes. Because I've got some performance problems with this thing when I have maps that are like 8,000 pixels by 4,000 pixels. I need to fix the performance problems. They kind of stem from, I believe, using the WPF image editing aspects of it. So, 13-year-old's big into Dungeons and Dragons right now. She makes her own game boards. I love it. We actually did similar things as a family project like 4 years ago, where we created, out of cardboard, we created map pieces and angled pieces that you can lay out and build your own map. And I think you might be talking about the same thing, or you might be doing it in another medium in terms of game boards. But I'm super interested in that. By the way, Brian, this is all, I don't know if you've seen the special effects on the show. It might be a good time to show those off here. So I'm working on a lot of stuff, Dungeons and Dragons, for a secondary Twitch show that's maybe a little too mature for your 13-year-old. It's got mature comedy kind of stuff in it, but it's, I'll show you the link to it. We have not gone live yet here, but we're getting close. We're in practicing phase and doing that. And the map editor is going to be part of it, but we've also got other special effects as well.
Lady McLovenuts!
For example, we've got the D&D scrolls that we built. So we built all of this right up here. And we built special effects as well. So everywhere you see a name tag, there'll be a person sitting there, just like I am, in front of that. And so she's got, for example, a Warhammer, and so she can bring that up like that. She can roll her attack. The dice come out like this. It's bludgeoning damage, so you get this kind of cool bludgeoning effect around the dice.
Look at that damage!
Does the swing, does the hit, all of that kind of thing. She can take damage. Here, we'll go ahead and let me actually come in here, and I'm going to use my Stream Deck. I can just hit buttons on my Stream Deck, like give myself 12 damage right there. Whoa! Maybe give myself 19 damage. Oh, look out, Fred! There you go. Like that. Fred's fast at avoiding any kind of blood spills. Right, Fred? Fred's good at that. Fred's digitally puppeteered. I'm just hitting buttons over here as well. I can cast spells. For example, Chaos Bolt is one of my favorite spell effects. And notice over here, I've got the 3D particle effects coming around me, right? I move out of the way. You can see it behind me and in front of me here. We'll roll that attack coming out here like this. And we've got the spells showing up right here. All the D&D spells are showing up. I got some choices between force damage or cold damage. I can choose whatever the damage effect is. Clear out the dice. Very cool graphic effects that we built here. It's rolling wild magic check right here. If I roll a 1, there's a wild magic surge that occurs, and crazy stuff happens there. Yeah, so that's kind of what we built. We built some kind of fun Dungeons and Dragons things right here. Here, let me give myself some health because, I just took damage before. And there you go. There's more of those 3D effects kind of spinning around, right? Very cool. Get away, guys. Okay, cool stuff. So yeah, we're doing the map editor. We're building all of this stuff, and that's what we've been working on in the show. So just creating special effects, rolling 3D die, making the die like be on fire, something along those lines. Oh, I've got one more demo. Here's a demo I can do, a test all damage demo. You can see all the necrotic, acid, force, fire, cold, piercing, bludgeoning, slashing, thunder, and lightning, and radiant damage. All of those coming out here like that. I think we're missing psychic damage in this group. With all the different die effects that we've got. And that's it. So yeah, when we go live, I think it's gonna be super fun to watch the game. Live comedy Dungeons and Dragons. It's gonna be Sunday nights. You can go follow us out on Dragon Humpers if you're interested in it. And regardless, that's super cool that your 13-year-old is into D&D, because I think it's kind of a really fun thing to be into. Okay, back to our work over here. All right, so we want to get our string editor and bring that up here. What's that going to look like? I'm just going to use edit and continue here. I want to create something new like this, enum editor. And let's kind of look at what we did and built into this here. We have an on value change. We've got a hookup. We're hooking up to the value change event. How are we doing that? When we create it, we're hooking it up. Nice. And then we call execute command. Okay, so that's all code we wrote on Friday, I think, for the enum editor. So we're going to do something very similar for our text editor. So let's set a breakpoint here. We'll trigger the breakpoint. We'll use edit and continue to build this whole thing. So let's go look at our enum editor. Go into there. Let's create a new class and call this our string editor. Or maybe a text editor. Something like that. Text editor, I think, is going to descend from a stack panel as well. But it's instead of being, well, yeah, actually it's going to be horizontally aligned. So we'll have a stack panel, and on the left we'll have a text block, and on the right we'll have a text box. I think I'm going to need all of this right here. Let's see what's going on with value. Value's an int? Oh yeah, I can't do that. We're going to need to change this a little bit. So we're going to say that's a string. Because we're in edit and continue, I cannot move these to their own classes yet. So we'll need to do that. Let's see what we got here. So we just created our text change event args. Let's create a new delegate in here. And text change event handler like that. It's going to take in those event args. Like that. Here's our delegate. Create a new event. And text change like that. And let's also create a new instance of the event args, just like we have down in here. We have that right there. So let's do the same thing here. And there's my new event args. And I think I'll do this. Yeah, a lot of these are the same pieces right here. We're going to grab this and this, which indicates that later we might want to create a descendant of this. Copperbeardy's coming in with a party of 7. Thank you, Copperbeardy, for the raid. Welcome, everybody. We're in the middle of some Dungeons and Dragons map editing. Ancient Coders here. Hey, Copperbeardy. Copperbeardy did not get a fanfare. Looks like we lost our fanfare. So we went through the whole time last time without losing them. We just lost them. I'm going to manually play. Copperbeardy.
Copperbeardy is in the house.
Copperbeardy. is in the house. Copper Beardy, welcome. Hey everybody, welcome. We're working on our Dungeons and Dragons map editor, but we're adding really professional, high-level features. Like we've got undo and redo. We've got multi-select editing, including the ability to edit with a property editor. We're building a property grid right now, and including the ability to add to show and display properties of different values when I have a multi-selection, and all of that wrapped up into undo and redo. It's really it's both a testament to the quality of the command design pattern, as well as the quality of the architecture we've built. It's pretty exciting to be able to make just a few code changes and have radically multiplied functionality appear. So we're really excited about that. To get a property to be able to be editable at design time, all we have to do is just add this attribute to it. Adding this attribute to this class, to a property in here, makes it play in the undo redo space, makes it play in the multi-select and edit space, and show up inside of our, and create automatic UI for it. So it's really brilliant, beautiful design. So that's what we're doing right now. We're creating a text editor at this moment in time. And so I'm just in the process of doing that. Let's set our orientation inside there as well. So our text editor is going to have a text block as well, and display text. Okay. So yeah, I think let's start copying this kind of thing too as well. And we will work our way here along this. This is going to be, I think, call it a text editor. Darn computer crashing on me. Does not like me turning the Bluetooth headset off. That is not good. That's not good at all. All right, there's my plus equals there. Oh, do I not have, it's text changed, isn't it? Text changed. Plus equals, tab that, and get that thing going. Specify the property and property type. We need those. We're getting the add display text. Let's go declare that. I think I'm going to call this a caption instead. Call it add label. And it's going to look a little bit like this one right here. Text block. There we go. So it's going to go right at the front, like that. So we've got our add label. Good. Then we need to do something like this. We need to say, hey, if property value data dot has inconsistent values, let's do this. We're going to say value, or text maybe, is equal to property value data dot string value, and if that's the case, then we're going to just set it equal to that, and then we're going to go into our text editor and we're going to call add text. We're going to pass in our text like that, and I need to set a breakpoint when the text is changed. And let's add our text in there. Let's declare that. And this, we're going to say we want a new text box, I think. And we want to make sure we add that to the children of, we'll call add instead, like that. We want to say text box dot text, good, is equal to text, like that. I think I want to give it a margin. And let's see, left is maybe 0, 0, right is 4, bottom is 4. I think that's good. That feels good. And let's set it's not change, it's foreground and background yet. I think that we're just going to have white background, black text. All right, so I think that's good. Oh, we need to know when the text is changed. So I've got Coderus installed, and I've got IntelliRush active, which, and I know that it's active because I see tap control for options. So I can tap the control key, hit the letter E now to show only events. So I'm looking for like text changed. I really want kind of text committed, not changed. And the reason I want this is because I want to support undo and redo. And I don't want to undo and redo every single letter that I typed in. Let's do text change for now, and we'll look at the problems this causes, and then we'll go work to fix these. I think I'm going to need to look at individual keys down for enter being pressed, escape being pressed, and also losing focus. I need to know when I've lost focus in it, because when I lose focus, I want to give it a commit. Okay, so there's my text box changed, and then here we're going to trigger the event. Let's create an event trigger for that. Right here, we don't need to pass in sender. We'll just make it this. And we aren't going to need to pass in the text change event args because we've already created a new instance of those right up here. And I'm just going to come down here and say event args dot value is equal to text, which I'm going to pass in right here. So I'm going to come in and say on text change, and I'm going to say, let's do this. If sender is text box, then on text change, text box dot text, like that. Let's delete this for a second, cut it to clipboard, just add parameter, paste it in, and then that way we'll get what we want, like that. Okay, cool. And then my event args are what I'll pass in here, and I think I'm done. It's, again, I've got two classes in one file. I want to move those, but I'm in edit and continue right now, so I can't create any new files while I'm doing this. But I think that's going to be my text editor. I think. Let's see what problems we have with it. There it is right there. Oops, we got to return it. All right, let's step through it. See what it looks like. Hooking up the event, assigning the values right there. Did I hook up? Yeah, my the text change event is hooked up, and I've got my breakpoint right there. All right, let's run it. I've got a couple text properties I think we're bringing in here. Let's take a look at them. Oh, only one, name. Okay, I think I need a min width on that because too much precision is required to kind of nail that, to click inside of there. So let's set a breakpoint. Let's just fix that real quickly here. New text editor, what is it? It's going to be in the call to add text right here. Min width is equal to, say 80. Like that. And run it. That doesn't look like 80. Why is not, oh, I did max width. That's why. Okay. When things make sense. That's my favorite. Okay. So there we go. Nice. So now we got the name property here, which is a string. Is that my only string property in Basecamp properties? String. It is. Okay. All right, cool. So now I can give it a name. So now as soon as I type anything, I think I'm going to get my breakpoint. Yeah, there it is right there. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Let's fix this. I want to fix this first, so we only get this at the time when we actually commit. So let's take a look at that. We need to get some more events is what we need to do. We're going to go into our new. Let's see. It's going to be. It's still in here. This is our key event right here. All right. So we're going to say not a text change event. We are not going in there. Instead, we're going to go to got key down, preview key down. I think I can do that. And we want to say, here's my preview key down. I need a lose focus. Do I have that? Lost focus. And I think those are the two events I need. All right, let's set breakpoints on both of these. And let's create a new method called text change, like this. And something else I want to do. I want to support, if you hit escape, I want to bring it, I want to do this. I want to say original text equals text, like this. And I want to save this in the control as a field, like that. And then if I hit in the key down, if it's a cancel, whoops, keys dot, is it keys? I thought it was keys dot. I guess it's key dot. No, what is it? Keys? Am I just missing something? Oh, this makes me mad. All right, that's system window forms. I don't want that. What's going on? There it is, system window input key. That's what I want. Okay, if it's key dot escape, then I want to say, I want to get that text box. And I want to say textbox.text equals original text, like that. And I'm wondering if this shouldn't be the preview key down. If it just should be a regular key down. Let's go with that one first. Let's comment that out for a second. So if we hit escape, we restore to the original. Otherwise, if we hit enter, then we trigger the text change event. We say text changed.